As we get older, protecting our heart health becomes more important than ever. Heart disease is still the #1 cause of death among seniors in the United States, and yet many of its biggest risk factors are hidden in the foods we eat every single day. For decades, doctors have warned us about the dangers of eating too much salt. And it's true. High sodium intake is linked to high blood pressure, strokes, and heart attacks. But here's the shocking truth that very few people talk about. There are foods even more dangerous than salt for your heart. These foods silently damage your arteries, increase your risk of heart disease, and can take years off your life if you don't take action. In this video, we're going to expose the 5 worst foods for seniors' heart health. And today, in part 1, we'll focus on the first 3. Along the way, I'll share real-life examples of how these foods affect older adults, and we'll also look at what science tells us about why they're so harmful. If you're serious about protecting your heart, extending your lifespan, and enjoying a strong and active life in your 60s, 70s, and beyond, pay close attention, because chances are some of these foods are already sitting in your kitchen. 1. Processed meats, bacon, sausages, and deli cuts. When you think of heart-damaging foods, most people think of salty potato chips or French fries. But in reality, processed meats are among the worst culprits. These include bacon, hot dogs, sausages, ham, salami, and even many deli meats that seniors eat in sandwiches every day. Why they're dangerous? Processed meats are loaded with sodium, yes, but that's just the beginning. They also contain nitrates and nitrites, preservatives used to keep the meat looking pink and fresh. When consumed, these chemicals can form compounds called nitrosamines, which damage blood vessels and increase the risk of heart disease and cancer. A study from the Harvard School of Public Health found that people who ate just 50 grams of processed meat per day, about 2 slices of bacon, had a 42% higher risk of heart disease. That's a huge jump for such a small portion. Real-life example. Take George, a 72-year-old retiree who loved having bacon with his breakfast every morning. He thought he was doing fine because he avoided extra salt on his eggs. But after a routine checkup, his doctor found his cholesterol was high, his blood pressure was climbing, and his arteries were beginning to harden. Once George cut back on processed meats and switched to fresh, lean protein like chicken or fish, his numbers improved dramatically within months. The bottom line: processed meats may taste convenient and familiar, but they're silent heart killers. For seniors, cutting them out can make a significant difference in both heart health and overall longevity. 2. Sugary beverages, soda, sweet tea, and energy drinks. The second heart killer hiding in plain sight is sugar-sweetened beverages. For many seniors, it's an afternoon soda, sweet iced tea, or even certain fruit juices that claim to be healthy but are loaded with added sugar. Why they're dangerous? Excess sugar intake spikes blood glucose levels, leading to insulin resistance, weight gain, and type 2 diabetes, all of which are major risk factors for heart disease. But beyond that, sugary drinks specifically cause a dangerous type of fat to build up around the heart and liver, known as visceral fat. The Journal of the American Heart Association published a study showing that people who consumed just 1 sugary drink per day had a 20% higher risk of developing cardiovascular disease compared to those who rarely drank them. For seniors, who may already have slower metabolisms and weaker insulin responses, the risk is even greater. Real-life example. Consider Mary, a 68-year-old grandmother who loved sweet tea. She thought it was healthier than soda because it was homemade. But after years of drinking 2 glasses every afternoon, she was diagnosed with type 2 diabetes and had to start heart medications. When she switched to unsweetened tea with lemon and began drinking more water, her blood sugar stabilized and her heart health improved. The bottom line: sugary drinks may feel refreshing in the moment, but they silently burden your heart. Seniors should stick to water, unsweetened tea, or even flavored water with natural fruit slices for a safe, heart-friendly alternative. 3. Packaged baked goods, donuts, cookies, and pastries. The third food group on our list might surprise you. Packaged baked goods, including donuts, cookies, pastries, and even some muffins. While these treats bring comfort and nostalgia, they often contain one of the most dangerous ingredients for your heart: trans fats. Why they're dangerous? Even though the FDA banned artificial trans fats in 2015, many baked goods still contain small amounts of hydrogenated oils. These fats raise LDL cholesterol, the bad cholesterol, and lower HDL cholesterol, the good cholesterol, creating a double threat to your arteries. But it's not just trans fats. These foods are also full of refined flour and added sugar, which cause blood sugar spikes, weight gain, and increased inflammation in the body. Chronic inflammation is now recognized as a major contributor to heart disease. Real-life example. Robert, a 74-year-old widower, had a habit of buying boxed pastries from the grocery store for breakfast. He told himself it was just a small indulgence. But over the years, his waistline expanded, his energy dropped, and his doctor warned him of prediabetes and high triglycerides. Once he switched to whole grain toast with nut butter and fresh fruit, his blood sugar levels dropped, and he felt more energized throughout the day. The bottom line: it's okay to enjoy a treat once in a while, but packaged baked goods should never be a daily habit for seniors. They are calorie-dense, nutrient-poor, and one of the fastest ways to increase your risk of heart disease. So far, we've covered 3 of the worst foods for your heart. 1. Processed meats like bacon and deli cuts. 2. Sugary beverages like soda and sweet tea. 3. Packaged baked goods such as donuts and cookies. But we're not done yet. In Part 2, we'll reveal the final 2 silent killers, including one food that almost everyone keeps in their pantry and eats without realizing the danger. And most importantly, we'll talk about healthier, heart-friendly alternatives you can start enjoying right now. Your heart deserves better, so stay tuned for the rest of the list. In Part 1 of this series, we uncovered 3 of the most dangerous foods for seniors' heart health: processed meats, sugary beverages, and packaged baked goods. Each of these foods silently increases your risk of heart disease by damaging your arteries, raising your cholesterol, and creating chronic inflammation in the body. But our list isn't complete yet. In this second part, we'll expose 2 more hidden killers that are even more common than you think. We'll also look at healthier alternatives that protect your heart while still letting you enjoy your meals. Let's continue.
Your health journey matters. Subscribe to Healix, tap the bell to stay inspired with every new video, and share this with your loved ones so they can thrive alongside you.
4. Fried foods, French fries, fried chicken, and onion rings. If there's one comfort food that almost everyone enjoys, it's fried food. Whether it's crispy fried chicken, golden French fries, or onion rings, fried foods are everywhere. At restaurants, fast food chains, and even at home. But for seniors, fried foods are one of the most damaging choices for the heart. Why they're dangerous? Fried foods are often cooked in oils that are heated to very high temperatures. This process not only increases the fat content, but also creates harmful compounds like advanced glycation end products, AGEs. These compounds trigger inflammation and oxidative stress in the body, both of which accelerate heart disease. Most fried foods are also high in unhealthy fats and calories, which can quickly lead to weight gain. Excess weight puts additional strain on the heart, raises blood pressure, and contributes to metabolic syndrome, a dangerous combination of risk factors for seniors. A study published in the British Medical Journal followed more than 100,000 people over several decades. The results were clear. The more fried food people ate, the greater their risk of heart failure, stroke, and coronary artery disease. Real-life example. Consider Linda, a 70-year-old who loved treating herself to fried chicken every weekend with her grandchildren. Over time, she began noticing shortness of breath when climbing stairs and frequent chest tightness. Her doctor warned her that her arteries were clogging due to years of unhealthy fats. When Linda made the switch to oven-baked chicken with olive oil and spices, her cholesterol levels dropped, and her energy slowly returned. The bottom line: fried foods may be comforting in the moment, but they take a devastating toll on your heart. For seniors, every extra serving of fried food increases the risk of heart complications. 5. Refined carbohydrates, white bread, white rice, and pasta. The final food on our list might surprise you because it's a staple in many kitchens: refined carbohydrates. These include white bread, white rice, regular pasta, and many breakfast cereals. Why they're dangerous? When grains are refined, their fiber and nutrients are stripped away, leaving behind simple starch. These starches quickly turn into sugar in the bloodstream, causing sharp spikes in blood glucose and insulin levels. Over time, this leads to insulin resistance, type 2 diabetes, and an increased risk of heart disease. For seniors, who often already struggle with blood sugar regulation, refined carbs can be especially harmful. They provide very little nutrition but cause big fluctuations in energy levels and hunger, leading to overeating. The American Journal of Clinical Nutrition published findings showing that diets high in refined grains were strongly linked to higher rates of heart disease, while whole grains actually lowered the risk. Real-life example. Take Harold, a 75-year-old who ate white toast every morning and white rice with dinner almost every night. He thought he was eating light and healthy, but his doctor pointed out that his blood sugar was out of control and his cholesterol was climbing. When Harold switched to whole grain bread and brown rice, his lab results improved, and he felt fuller for longer after meals. The bottom line: refined carbs may seem harmless, but they are silent disruptors of heart health. Seniors who rely on them daily are unknowingly putting their hearts at risk. Heart-healthy alternatives. Now that we've exposed the 5 worst foods for seniors' hearts: processed meats, sugary drinks, packaged baked goods, fried foods, and refined carbs, it's important to talk about what to eat instead. Choose lean proteins. Swap processed meats for fresh chicken, turkey, fish, or plant-based proteins like beans and lentils. Drink smart. Replace soda and sweet tea with water, herbal teas, or sparkling water with a splash of lemon. Bake better. Instead of packaged cookies, try homemade snacks made with oats, nuts, and fruit. Cook differently. Trade fried foods for oven-baked or air-fried versions using olive oil. Go whole grain. Replace white bread, rice, and pasta with whole grain alternatives for fiber and steady energy. These swaps don't just protect your heart. They improve digestion, stabilize blood sugar, and help you maintain a healthy weight. Your heart is the engine that keeps you alive, and every bite you take either fuels it or harms it. Salt is only part of the story. The real silent killers are the processed meats, sugary beverages, packaged baked goods, fried foods, and refined carbs that sneak into our daily diets. But here's the good news. It's never too late to change. By making simple, consistent choices, you can strengthen your heart, lower your risk of disease, and enjoy more active, fulfilling years ahead. So take action today. Clean out your pantry, make healthier swaps, and listen to your body. Protecting your heart doesn't have to mean giving up the joy of food. It just means making smarter choices. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Your support helps us reach more seniors with life-changing health tips. Together, we can make aging not just about years lived, but about living those years with energy, strength, and vitality.